Osborne, Ozzy Osbourne's son. So I'm assuming he sees a lot more than just ghosts. But you can Google it. Julia Brown, the Great West Indies Storm in 1915, the Haunted Man Shack Swamp. It's all online. You can read all about it. My favorite alligator hangs out here near the gravesite. We need to look for him. I call him the chicken wing. Nope, that's too big. Yeah, chicken wing is missing half of a left rear leg. He's my favorite. We bonded. I'm his favorite captain. He's my favorite gator. I haven't seen him today, though. I'm not sure if I saw him yesterday. I can't remember. I don't know if I saw him yesterday either. Now look along this ridge right here on our left. Look in the sunshine. On this hill, you can see those little white specks. Can you see those little white specks? Well, just pretend like you can. That's this. Rangia clamshells. Okay, this is what we used to use to build the base of roads, neighborhoods, and homes built on Rangia clamshells. They used to dredge Lake Pontchartrain until the mid-1980s for this. There's a road right here that connects this canal to Fernier Road right outside of our parking lot. You can walk down this road, never get your feet wet thanks to the Rangia clamshell. And this was built back in the 1800s too. Now, this is a very important animal for Native Americans. Native Americans that live in this environment, they lack hard substrate. There are no rocks here. If you found a rock here, somebody brought it. No rocks exist in the swamp or marsh around here. So this can be used for a tool. They could use this clamshell for a knife, a scraper. Maybe they could shoot half a shot of tequila out of this thing. They would also eat them. They'd collect them, bring them home, crack them open, and eat the meat. Now, in my neighborhood, they used to pile them up in big piles, grade them out, and fill in the potholes. As kids, we used to hide behind the piles, grab a clamshell, wrap your finger around it like this. You can throw this thing sidearm, and you can fly this clamshell about 50 yards if you were a good throw. We used to throw them at each other. We had clamshell wars until Danielle got hit in the forehead and had to get like 15 stitches. Thanks a lot, Danielle.
Did you see it? He's fast swimmer.
That's not the chicken wing either. He's on a mission. This is the first real active alligator we spotted.
Oh, look, he just ran.
Oh, he's on a mission.
He said, not today. Where's he going? I bet he's going home. What do you think? You think he's going home?
Now, Julia Brown had about 40 acres of property over here on our left. Most of Cajun Pride's property was Julia Brown's. Now, they did not want Julia Brown buried with their friends and their family back there. So they buried her over here by herself. If you look through the swamp, you can see Julia Brown's grave site. On this grave site, the flowers never die. On the full moon, you can hear Julia Brown back in the swamp chanting chants of the impending doom. That's Julia Brown's final resting place. I think I got voodoo. Let's get out of here. Y'all do voodoo? It's good times, yeah. Yeah, you get a voodoo starter kit on Amazon. Free shipping if you have Prime. No problem. Get your career started today in voodoo. Look at that little cutie. That's a small one. That's what a 3-year-old alligator should look like. It's about the smallest size alligator you ever get to see on a tour, right there. If you see one smaller than this, chances are his mom is nearby. This is right when they leave the nest site and enter the general population with the other gators. That's a 3-year-old. That's souvenir size. Yeah, if you get that one. If anybody's flying home with a live souvenir alligator like this, when you try to get him through the airport, what you do is cut a hole in your pocket. And you slide the gator down your pocket and you tuck his head into your sock. And you walk through the airport like you just hurt your knee or something. But whatever you do not point the head of the gator up. Yeah. You don't, now trust me, that's a big mistake. Yeah. Ah.
I wasn't sure if I was in or not.
I guess he was like really
Water come out.
There's a shoe.
I know. It doesn't take much to be
There's a croc out there with the alligators.
Just look at the croc. You see it?
Where?
It's right there, floating next to the bank. That's a left croc.
It's a real
That's
croc.
size 10. Size 10.
10.
That's the most dangerous shoe of the swamp. The croc. Hey, y'all want to see the baby croc I captured? I caught this with my bare hands. You know this croc was attached to some child's foot? Yeah. I pulled it right off. That's the croc. Listen, don't panic. Croc Shoe Company is not going out of business. It's rumors. Do not freak out and go spend your whole entire paycheck on Crocs. Like Captain Tom did.
I never even tried that.
Y'all see this white sign? When we cross over this sign, we enter onto the state's property. On this side, we're on Cajun Pride's property. This sign designates the Marpaw Wildlife Management Area. It's state property for people to use. Hunting, fishing, commercially fish, bird watch, berry pick, kayak, canoe, water ski, go crawfishing and frogging, whatever you want to do. As long as you're licensed and permitted, you could use the state's property. Oh, that's my house. This is where Shrek and I live. No, I'm teasing. That's the mother-in-law suite. That's where she sleeps when she comes to visit.
Oh, he did it with the facial.
Yeah.
He's
This is probably the most consistent alligator on tour that I think I can recognize. She's always here by the cabin. And she's also a very vocal alligator. If she ever comes up to the boat, sometimes you could tickle her and she'll growl and hiss. Most alligators are pretty silent, but she happens to be one of the more vocal ones. Kimbo was very vocal. Jay-Wow was very vocal. This gator is also very vocal. A gator that size can lay about 45 eggs. Do y'all remember the incident at Disney World with the gator?
Yes.
So it was a gator about this size. It was not like some humongous alligator. It was nice 7-footer.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah.
They say the original owner of this property did not have a deed to the property. All they had was a photograph of their father standing in front of a cabin. Cajun Pride acquired a copy of the photograph and they recreated the cabin. That's where the cabin used to be. That's what the cabin used to look like. It was an attempt to give people an idea what life is like in Bernier for the loggers and commercial fishermen and fur trappers and all that.
Would you rather be a raccoon or a gator?
Raccoons eat
two towns,
They're in the kitchen.
they saw a ghost here at the cabin. They even spoke with the ghost. His name was Charles. On this show, they say, Charles, are you with us? Charles, please communicate to us. Charles, speak to us across our electronic ghost talking to devices. And then they said, Captain, will you leave? I said, why? They said, your laughter's being picked up across the cast microphones. They kicked me off the set. Had to go sit over here in the dark all by myself for like 2 hours. Then it was time to go. They were like, Captain, come pick us up. I just sat there in the dark. I didn't say anything. Kicked me off this set. I had a good shot at being on this show, but I think I ruined it because I was like, Charles, really? A ghost from the 1800s? You knew his name? Ha! These guys have been ghost hunting for 8 years. They've had a ghost hunting show for 8 years. They have to be making money. You don't do anything for 8 years and not make money. I gotta get into this business. They work like once a month. That's what they would tell me, like, yeah, we work once a month, about a week a month. I'm like, what? I know two ghosts, I know Charles and Julia Brown. I got a good start, you know, film me. Woo! Give me a break. I mean, seriously, give me a break. I need one. Anyway, this is the Lonesome Bite, quintessential bite. Big cypress trees, windy bayou. This is what I think of when I think of this swamp. Y'all eat crawfish? Yeah. This is where we come to catch crawfish. This time of year to catch crawfish. You come out here and you travel down one of these small bayous and set some nets and traps. You set 6 over here in this slough, 6 over here in that slough. You go down and check them off. And hopefully you catch some nice crawfish. This is a crawfish net. It's called a puddle net, a shallow water net. Now the way this works is, you bait this up. The preferred bait to use on this net, with this net, would be a beef melt. Beef melts are the spleen of a cow. Nobody eats that part. So it makes good crawfish bait. The crawfish crawl in here to get it to melt. You sneak up on this with a long stick, a piece of bamboo, and you lift it up. The way the crawfish just holds them in the net. Now you have to be pretty quick because the crawfish can just run and jump off of here. You swing it over your boat, dump it into a basket or a bucket. Many times you'll just dump it on the floor of your boat. Pick them up later. The beauty of this net, it does not take up much real estate. It folds like this. You could stack dozens of these up inside of a small boat. When we're crawfishing, you're going back there in the interior. You need a small flat bottom canoe called a P-rod. This is a square trap. This is more modern style of trap. This is the type of trap I'm using now. So what you do is, there's a bait box in the middle. You bait this trap up with some dead fish. Pogies, mullets, catfish heads. Purina makes a bait called crawfish chow. The crawfish crawl through these funnels to get at the bait. They have a hard time escaping. When you want to dump them out, there's a door. You open up, dump them out. This is made out of 3/4 inch wire. That's what the law states. It must be 3/4 inch wire or larger. That's so the undersized crawfish can just escape. In the early spring, you pick it up, crawfish fall right through this hole. If they fall through that hole, they're too small to eat anyway, so don't worry about it too much. You can run 35 traps like this with a recreational gear permit. Anything over 35 traps, you must have a commercial license for. Now, I build all my own traps. I built this trap. But do y'all know what the perfect tool is to make this funnel?
Oh, there's 3 gators.
What?
Next to the gator. That's
Green heron.
There's another, there's 3.
What about that one? There's 4.
I don't see any birds.
There's a swimmer. Here's one swimming, yo.
Anyway, the answer was long neck beer bottle. It takes 4 beers to build a trap like this. I can build 6 of these traps in one night. I'm a professional. We're on the state's property. We can't feed them over here. Legally. We got kicked off the state's property a couple of months ago. Without the state's property, we don't have much of a tour. So we got to behave.
There's one up there. They think we're going to feed them.
The bigger one out there.
This is Michael.
He's got a little one over there.
This is what a 1-year-old alligator should look like. The proper way to hold him is like this. You hold on to the tail. You're not going to hurt the tail. It's all muscle. Supporting his body weight with the other hand so it does not feel like he's going to fall. Watch out for his little legs. He gets all wiggly, you could hurt his legs. But don't touch his face. You don't want people touching your face. He does not want to be touching the face. Do not roll him over on his back and try to make him go to sleep. It doesn't work. He doesn't like that anyway. Don't squeeze the belly. You squeeze the belly too hard, you're going to get some Gatorade. If you think you might drop him, don't hold him. All right, I had a girl toss him across the boat the other day about 10 feet. So we don't want that to happen again. Poor Mike.
Wait, what was I want to hold them away. I can hold them away.
That's what a 1-year-old alligator should look like.
Because like the worst that could happen is like
I don't know if that's
he's coming. I want to hold like I was holding.
Don't stand next to Charlotte. Get in the picture. Let her do all the work. There you go.
There you go.